Hi, David here with Tough Tractors. Here I'm going to do a little something different today. I'm going to do a how-to video, if I can get Charlie out of the way, of how to hook up a used tiller to your tractor. This happens to be a Yanmar YM2310. It's got an auto tilt on the 3-point, which is going to make it nice here. There's my tiller. It is a Yanmar, but it wasn't made for this tractor. This was on something else. But biggest thing is you want the tiller to be wider than the back wheels on the tractor. Obviously, if you're going to do tilling, you don't want to have tire marks. So make sure that the tines are actually a little bit wider than the tires in the back. It can be a lot wider. You just don't want it to be any narrower. First thing you want to make sure is that you have the correct top link. This is a special top link for tillers. Okay, and it's going to go right here. And because I'm by myself, I'm going to have to put the phone on pause here, put it on, and show you what it looks like, and then come back. Okay, you can see I've got the top link on. This is what's going to actually attach to the top of the tiller. If you don't have that, if you only have a straight top link coming out like you would for a lot of implements, it's not going to work. Your tiller's not going to be at the right angle, and it probably hit the tires too. So one of the things you may want to do, make sure you're on a flat surface, concrete. I don't have that luxury right now. You will need a floor jack if you're going to do this by yourself, because you're going to end up having to tilt the tiller down to hook up the top link. So you can see I have the 3-point arms coming out. I'm just going to back it up, hook the 3-point arms on first, and then I'm going to put the shaft that's going to connect the PTO of the tractor to the PTO of the actual gear shaft of the tiller. There's my shaft right there. So go ahead and hook up the 3-point arms first. Okay, I've got the 3-point arms on. You can see right here. Same thing on that side. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is put my shaft right here. I can't see, the sun's in my eyes. Right there. And if you see, it's movable. It actually pulls in and out. Okay, and the reason for that is you're going to slide it on the shaft of the PTO, and then you'll extend it out a little bit to reach the shaft on the tiller itself. One big point: make sure that you're well greased. Look at that. See, I put a lot of grease on there. Same thing on the tiller, and the reason for that is, as soon as you get this on and you say, okay, it's on there, and next thing you know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months go by, it's been raining. If you don't have that grease on there, it's a bear. It's a bear to get off. So make sure you have it well greased, and that's the next step. So I've got the 3-point arms on. I don't have the top link attached yet. It's just sitting there. And the reason is I want to put that shaft on because they're pretty tight. You only have so much play in them, and you have to tilt the tiller in and out in order to make sure you get that shaft on all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and put the shaft on right now. Okay, I've got the shaft on. One thing I forgot to mention is in the shaft of your PTO, you're going to have a little groove. So what you want to do first is, there's a button. That's kind of hard to see on here, but there's a button right up here on that on your shaft that's going to connect your tiller to your PTO. You push that button in, and it's got a little notch, so it raises that little bar up. So you want to slide it past that notch in the PTO all the way up to the tractor. That way you have enough room to be able to fit the same thing onto your tiller. And then after you get it hooked up, you'll slide it back into place and make sure that little groove snaps, or that little bar snaps down into the grooves. That way your shaft's not going to fly off when you're running. So, okay, next thing to do is I'm going to get this to go into here. This top link into here. I'm pretty darn close right there. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my floor jack. I'm going to jack it up, be able to slide the pin in, and go ahead and connect it up. But I'll do that right now. The hardest part actually is getting everything lined up. That's why if you're on a nice flat space, surface, if you can connect the two arms, your two arms up, that's probably the hardest thing, is getting it lined up, tilting the tiller back and forth, sliding it around to get it lined up so you can get those arms in. One great thing for me is I can get one arm in, and then I have my auto tilt on that arm. It was simple. I just pushed the lever and it went down, lined that right up. That was pretty easy. But if you don't have that benefit, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But you can do it, and you can see that I'm doing it by myself, so it's not that hard of a task. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect that top link up, and be right back. Okay, that's it. I've got the top link hooked up. You can see it right there. And here, all I did was kind of jury rig, just push the floor jack, put a 2x4 under it, push it up under the tiller right there, and just a little bit raise it up until that tilted enough where I can slide that in. And most of the time you're going to have a pin that's actually grooved, and that pin is going to stay right there against the notch on the tiller, and that's to keep everything from spinning and moving out. And you know, there's a lot of vibration and stuff when you're running this tiller. So there it is. That's how you hook up a tiller to a 3-point on your tractor. So if you want to see this, other videos, just like me on here. I've never done a how-to video before. Give me some comments. Also, if you need that top link right here, that special top link for your tractor, I normally have a couple sitting around. So if you want one, give me a call. I'm sure we can work something out. But you can go to my website, see all this stuff. ToughTractors.com, ToughTractors.com.